Story comes out of Montana. Proposed bill would ban the administration of mRNA vaccines in Montana.
RFK has re-entered the chat.
Yeah, no shit. Like, let me read what this fucking guy said in the bill in the House Judiciary. This is a quote from the article. Gene-based vaccines, or mRNA vaccines, are the most destructive and lethal medical products that have ever been used in human history. I'm asking you to support this bill banning gene-based vaccines so we can halt continued harm, disability, and death of our citizens. None of that is true. Somehow even the prepositions are false in that sentence. I don't even know how that's possible. Everything about that is a lie.
This is the problem with electing people that are like the everyman. Like, you know how we talk about this all the time? This is the problem. We are getting the dumbest people to come into they're passing laws against space lasers. They're passing laws against chemtrails. They're passing laws against mRNA technology. Some of this stuff could be absolutely life-changing and completely eradicate things that we hadn't even had on the vaccine list, right? Some of these things we just didn't even have an opportunity to get. They could change lives all across the globe with some of this technology. Look around the world. Here's what I just want to say this to the people who don't think that these mRNA technology things, like they're like, oh, it's bad stuff. It's like, they're not doing it in other countries. They're not banning it in other countries. I know that they want to say it's the profit motive, but in other countries, they have limits on how much they can spend on certain things because they have the biggest thing is negotiating with the drug companies. The only thing that can buy the drugs in Canada is the thing that buys the drugs. And so they can be like, yeah, we're not going to pay that for that. We're going to pay a reasonable price for it. And then they have to, so the profit motive sort of is not as, it's not as stark as it is here, right? In America, the profit motive can be huge for certain types of drugs. But look around the world. Are they banning these things in other countries? Are other countries looking at these things and saying, no, we can't have this mRNA technology? The only place you're hearing about this is in Yokelville, United States. So take that and think, well, why isn't the rest of the world up in arms about this? It's because you've been lied to by so many different disinformation groups right now. You can't even count and point to the one that you got lied to about this.
I did want to just double check something because I'm curious, Cecil. These are supposed to be the most dangerous, most destructive, most lethal medical devices, medical technology ever. Guess how many people worldwide received an mRNA COVID vaccine?
I'm going to go with like 4 billion.
5.58 billion.
Okay.
People.
Sure.
It's an enormous 72% of the world's population got an mRNA. Where's all the fucking dead? If fucking almost 5.5 billion people all took one of the most deadly it's fucking worse than sharks in your face. Like, it's just like, it's so scary. It's like crashing a skateboard while you're on fire out of an airplane with electric eels biting your nuts or whatever. It's so scary. There's nothing you could do that's scarier than 5.5 billion people. And we're all still chugging along.
And I will point, Tom got 4 billion of those shots himself.
I got so many of them, man. I've literally gotten every shot approved for use in the United States.
I think the thing is that initially you gave yourself heart arrhythmia, but all the rest of the shots put it back in order.
Yeah, you just Mr. Burns it. You just Mr. Burns it. Yeah, you got to balance it all out, bro. You got to balance it all out.
I just kept pouring 5W30 in there until it fixed it.